and welcome to another fun-filled, action-packed tinkering around with Jono episode, where we're going to be working on my little MX5 again. And what do we have to fit today? We have a Ken and Nigel. So we have a Ken induction kit to fit, which comes with all the things like the filter, stuffs, bits and pieces. So yeah, we'll get on and fit all that. So, yes, I know, people say, oh, they get heat soaked, you lose power, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, I'm like, I want induction noise. We want the bop. So, we're going to go fit this. And, yeah, make some noises. So, since you saw me do the episode where I fitted the brakes, I've also done a few other little extra touches to the Mazda. So, we have fitted fancy blue wheel nuts, because why not? We have also put in the thicker polyurethane door bushes to stiffen it up a little bit. And one more little thing. We put on a little stubby aerial, just to, yeah, because the big dangly one looks horrible. Anyway, we'll give the car a clean this weekend, so it's nice and shiny, as you can see. Clean. Lovely. But we're going to get on and fit this air filter now. So yeah, let's get the bonnet open. Right, so what we're going to need to do is get rid of the old airbox, take off part of the intake tube, take off the air sensor, and well, refit new stuff. So let's get on with it. Should be a nice simple job, he says. Right, so first thing we have to do, unplug the air sensor. There we go. We'll unclip that from the airbox. If we can, there we go. Move that out the way there. Right, now we've got to remove the intake hose from the air sensor. Simple as that. And then we can get rid of the airbox. Move the hose out of the way. Take the air filter out, which is fairly clean, but yeah, we'll replace it, because why not? Right, now we've got to remove the bottom part of the airbox, which is a 10mm. There we go. Right, next thing we've got to do is remove the air sensor from the top of the airbox, which is two screws. Nice and simple. Now we've got to be very careful with this, because we don't want to be breaking this, because these can sometimes be more expensive than you expect. There we go. That's what tells the car how much fuel and air to use. Let's put that to one side. Right, now obviously K&N's like been one of the leaders in like induction kits for the longest time imaginable, but quality of their parts is generally pretty good, but there's quite a bit of stuff left over on this one. If you look inside, I don't know if you see, it's got a bit of swarf left over inside there. Now, that's not very good to go inside your car, so I'm not that happy with that, to be fair. I mean, I'm going to clean it up myself and fit it, because, you know, I'm capable of doing these things, so we'll put up the shed quick and we'll give that a quick clean up and we'll stick on. Not impressed with that K&N. You know, you're normally pretty good with this sort of stuff, but I think this one might have missed a quality check, I think. It's even in there. And that's all sort of stuff you don't want getting inside your engine, because it's plastic and it'll melt and it will create all sorts of havoc for you. So let's go clean this up quick. So we've got quite a bit of swarf on the inside of that that's all loose, so just going to run around with a deburring tool. It's not going to need much because it's only plastic. There you go, that's a lot better. Don't need to give it hell because it's only plastic. And the inside of that's alright. Clean up the inside of that edge a bit. And then just clean up the bits inside here. Right, now it's charged up. Just get a bit of compressed air in there. I think we're okay with that. Yeah, there we go. Right, now next job is to get the air sensor onto this bit of pipe that I've now cleaned up. So there's a little rubber grommet here, which I'm supposed to put on. I think what's happened why there's swarf on the inside of this is because whatever tool they've used to cut this hole, they've plummeted down and it's caught the inside of there. That's what I reckon's happened. But we'll stick the rubber grommet on there. Not that it sticks very well, but it'll stay in place once it sort of bolts on, I suppose. Oh dear. So the airflow's going that way, so these generally have an arrow or something on them to show airflow, but I think it goes that way. So we'll stick that on. We use the new hardware, which is Allen. Ah, these little washers are supposed to go on there. I got you. I got you. Do it right the first time, John. There we go. That's the air sensor installed. Oh. Right, now we got to fit the adapter under here, which goes on that way, I believe. There's a little lip inside there for it to go up to. And then the air filter goes on there, and then you clamp it all down in one go. Right, there's that. And we've also got to fit the bracket together as well. So, yeah. And I'll stick a washer. Ooh. Drop a washer. Lose the washer. Never find the washer ever again. There we go. I'll tighten that up on there. What was it, a 10? It is a 10. Look at that. We won't do that tight yet. We'll wait until that's ready to go in place. Right, now we've got to fit this in the car. Alright, so now we've got to remove the earth bolt for this, put a new one in with a washer. So, try not to lose these ones. remove that little thing. And then we'll replace it with this thing. Question is, which way is it? I was going to hold it that way, I think. So we'll try and get that there and do that up a little bit. Roughly. Right, now we've got to put this in here. Undo the clamp a bit more. Then that should go on there like that, I reckon. No, that's got to go the other way around, like that. Is that right? Yeah, it must be like that. There we go. Right, now we've got most of the stuff where it needs to be now and tightened up. We'll put that back on. And then time to put the filter on. So we'll unwrap that. There she blows. We'll slide that one over that, and then we'll do that up. And we should be golden then. There we go. I think we are now somewhat secure. I think that pipe needs to slide on a little bit further. I think that's all good. So we'll just slide this on a little bit further because there's a little bit of a... That's an 8. We need a 10. There's a bit of a tab there for it to butt up to, so... One last thing, there's a little bung that goes right in here, so we'll just get that in, do that up tight, because we don't want anything to go in that we don't need to go in. Here's 16, here's a 16, no, here's 15. So we'll get that on so we don't get anything in that we don't want in. There we go, that's that on. There we go, jobs are good. Now it does supply this, which is supposed to slide down the back there somewhere and put it underneath, but I'm not going to worry about that because the car already has a cold air feed here. There is a different one you can buy, which actually puts a scoop down here and then brings out air to here, so I'm going to get that at some point. But this should supply enough cold air to this. Yes, there will be a little bit of heat sink. Wherever you gain power, very negligible, but you get noise, and that's what I want. So that is all nice and secure and all good. So we're going to go out for a little test drive now, and well, after washing my hands, of course. Then we're going to enjoy the noise. Now, everyone that does own a Mark III MX5, something worrying that's sort of been brought to my attention while doing this is, well, you see that white mark there on the bottom of the airbox. So the airbox sits like that in the car. That mark there is where the bottom of the airbox has been rubbing on the wiring loom for the ECU. So if you ever have problems with your car cutting out, it might be that. So I'm going to get some tape on that to protect it some more. And yeah, not very good that, but oh well. We'll give it a quick mend. I've got some tape somewhere. So yeah, if you've got a Mark III, pull the bottom part of your airbox out and just have a look at that. It's literally them two bolts there. Pull the rubber grommet out of that and check the wiring loom on your ECU, because yeah, it could be issues. Right, test drive now. Well then, ladies and gentlemen, we have got the new air filter on. It's all fitted, lovely jubbly. Not quite as growly as it was in the Mark II MX5. And sorry about that camera, you mattered a bit lower because I've got the medium mod on for the microphone this time, so yeah. So you might be able to see as much. I need to figure out a better way of mounting the cameras in there. Anyway, got the new air filter on. It's working a treat. It does sound a little different, but it's not quite as much difference as we had in the old NB. So yeah, don't expect a massive change in these, but it does. It's definitely got a bit more of a growl to it. So there's that, which is nice. But I think these are just a bit more refined than what the NBs were, so yeah, I'm not expecting like massive difference out of these. So because the engines are a bit newer, so I find newer engines don't give you quite as much growl from the induction as the older cars do. But there we go. But I like it. Was it worth the 200 odd quid for the kit? Maybe not, but definitely makes a little bit more noise now, which is nice. So you actually know you're driving something. I don't know how people drive electric cars and their quietness. Oh, it drives me nuts. I like my cars to make a bit of noise. There we go. I think exhaust next, definitely. Just change the back box for something a bit more sporty. For two reasons. One, because I want more noise, but two, because the exhaust on this is actually bent. I think the lady that had it before me, I think she might have reversed after having the lowering springs put on. Must have reversed into something, because where it's got the two tailpipes, the one on the passenger side's pushed in more than the one on the driver's side, so I reckon she's reversed into a curb or something and bent it. So yeah. So we will look at getting a back box at some point, but for now we got the induction kit. It makes a bit more noise, we're happy with that. So I'm going to go home now, enjoy the rest of my bank holiday weekend, and yeah, probably edit this video for you. Ugh. So if you liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. But most importantly, do like it. Leave a comment. Have you ever fitted an induction kit to your car? Did it make that much difference in noise? I found my old 8-valve 4-cylinder 1.3 litre Fiesta probably made the most amount of induction noise out of all the cars I had, probably because it was just 8-valve, so 8 valves are a bit more growly. It was only a single cam, that car, as well, so that probably helped. But there we go. There you go. Leave a comment. Who likes induction kits? Hands up. I certainly do. We certainly like it when things are a bit more fun to drive, so yeah. I don't want my car to be ridiculously loud, but I do want it to be sportier, so that's what we sort of try and aim for. When I do get a new exhaust, it's not going to be anything overly loud, because obviously I start work at a ridiculous time in the morning. I don't want to annoy my neighbours or my boss's dad when I get in the yard, so we'll get something that makes a bit more of a burble, but not like I'm going to get people to tell me off for driving it. Now the car's warmed up a bit as well. Yeah, it's definitely got more of a growl. Like I said, not as much as the old one, but there we go, I'm happy. So take it easy, look after yourselves, drive safely, enjoy the drive. Thanks for tinkering around with Jono. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbyes!